I actually remembered Little Sky this time. Also, did not charge my tablet. We'll see how long we can last today. Which I'm probably going to swap my phone out in favor of my tablet. And wait 1 minute. I don't forget one thing, I forget another. I don't know, one time I plugged my tablet into a portable charger and I was just amazed by how that worked for some reason. Like, most shocking thing to me. But I'm going to be out of phone battery though, so that is the one trade-off. Okay, against all better judgment, I'm going to start one more sticker design. And so far, most of the stickers are done. I just need to add lettering to one more Andarna. Okay, we still need to add lettering to quite a few of them. But one of the sticker designs I nearly forgot about was the Serum and Antidote from Onyx Storm. So I'm going to get something out really quick. I'm not going to do my entire sketching process because I don't think this one really needs it, because it's going to be 2 bottles. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of overlap. So we're just going to go ahead, jump right into I can't speak. Yeah, we're just going to jump right into things, and thank you for joining again this week. And pretty much this is the same, this would be the same process I would do if I were working in a vector software. Okay, my tour box is on. Tour box not responding. Hello? Hold on. My tour box is... Everything is refusing to work right now. Okay, why is my tour box not connecting? This usually doesn't have a problem. Is the battery dead? Hold on, the battery's dead. I'll be right back. These are all AAAs. Okay. I got batteries. Hold on. I thought we were going to have a smooth start to today's stream. I'm wrong. I was very wrong. If it's not one thing, it's always another with me. That's the one. This is like the one thing I hate about paint. CSP's ellipse tool is that quite literally it, no, I don't want it that wide. Although you could do some really cool designs this way too. Yeah, this is the one thing I hate about the ellipse tool is that you need to click twice for the shape to stay in place. I'm not a huge fan of that. I swear I know what I'm doing. Control, copy. Okay, no, just transform. Jeez Louise. Okay. I don't know why my tour box is struggling today. It just makes it a lot easier to do like all the zooming because my tablet does come with built-in controls, but they stopped really working properly a while ago. Maybe like 2 years ago. So that's part of the reason why I got this thing. But I don't know why it's struggling to connect right now. Mm. And the other thing with CSP, it doesn't, at least the version that I'm on, it doesn't have the align tools. Part of me feels like this would actually be easier on designer now. Okay, hold on. Okay. Trying to think of the best way to do this. And what size? The circle is on 10. Do 10 on the straight line. Oh my gosh, why is it not working? I'm gonna try again. Because the last thing I want to do is like turn off my computer. Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna make another copy of this guy. And I think make this a little larger. Not quite, no. Do a free transform. rotate. Where's the... Is it because there's a ruler? Okay. I'm just gonna draw it in a little bit. Yeah, and that's how you know they're not. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and merge these down, and because I'm anal like this. Oh shit, there's two. Are there two rulers? Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my tour box. For some reason, it just does not want to connect. Hold on. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I'm just having a rough start this evening. No. I'm beginning to think designer is going to be the easier option to get this done, but I also don't have designer set up for streaming, so we'll just make do. That's all. I also think like that double tap feature is kind of annoying. And every single time I forget about it too. I think that looks kind of weird. Okay, we're not going to do the circle. You could get some really cool designs with that, but that's not what I'm aiming for this evening. Okay. Okay, we're in a better place now. I think what I'm going to do, because this is going to be... Oh, wait, that's the line tool. Because that's going to be... All right. This is the reason... Oh my gosh. The fact my tour box isn't connecting is the most annoying part. Because it's just the workflow. Let me just try closing out a CSP and... Don't recall making changes to vertex. Give me 1 second, because it's really hard to get into it without the tour box working the way it should. And I don't know why it's not connecting. And I usually don't have problems. It starts up on its own. Let me try something else. Okay, let me just... Yeah, I don't see it running. Okay. Doesn't look like Torbox is running anymore. Yep. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try one more thing. Okay, there we go. Why are you such a DaVinci Resolve? That's not even the program we're using right now. Okay. Torbox, why did it disconnect? It shouldn't have any reason to disconnect. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the stream, everyone, where we troubleshoot technical errors live. My name is Skylar, and I am your hot mess for the evening. I just feel like it would need... You know what? We're gonna have to do a lot of layering. Jesus Christ. Never do I know what I'm doing, but we're doing something. It's kind of... I'm having a hard time settling in because my brain is just scattered with that little technical malfunction. Do you want one layer with the ruler? Want one layer without the ruler, and then this should be showing on all layers. Okay, so we're gonna just begin, because if I do this, it's gonna make 2 circles. That's what I thought. It has to be from one side to the other, and okay, perfect. Oh, for the love of... You know, you'd think I'd learn my lesson by now, given how much I use CSP, but I never do. I never do. It's like one of the most annoying features of using the shapes in CSP. And part of the reason I end up defaulting to things like Inkscape for vector designs. And part of the reason I said this was going to be easy was because I was just like, oh, it's a file. It's going to be simple shapes. It's going to be fine. I need to stop doing this to myself. Roundedness of the corners. I think... But I will say, you can get some interesting designs with that funky little... with the funky way it behaves. Because the thing with the file... Oh, for the love of God. Again, you'd think I'd learn my lesson by now. I don't. I think for the file, I want tall with... Yeah, it's going to have to be roughly the same width all around. Minus the cork. I should be using multiple layers. Okay. I remember to double click this time. And I'm going to use a curve. That's not a 10 width, is it? Yeah, that's not a 10 point. Me, it's gonna be simple. You're just gonna need very simple shapes. Like, you can get this done, lickety split, no problem at all. Everything will be fine. No, everything's not fine. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Maybe I should turn off the ruler for this one. Get more back in for this one. Does that even look right? That does not. Okay. Because what I want, let me just sketch. This is what I get for not sketching it out. Because what I want are two files. Got the corkscrew up here. Got the bottleneck. Because what, okay, yeah, because the necks for these aren't very long. It just literally, okay. Because this part is gonna go away. Okay, 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 okay. Because the bottleneck is actually literally going to be the size of the bottom of the cork. The smallest portion of the cork is literally the width of the okay. That did it. Okay. I think partially is the, I feel like this is too thick for a 10. That looks too thick for a 10. What was the line in the, yeah, that's a 10. The circle is a 10. Then why do you feel so thick? I think I need to zoom out a little bit. Oh, now the top looks kind of funky. I don't like it. This is gonna become one of those trust the process sessions, isn't it? And the good, you know, the best part is I told myself this is gonna be easy. Like, I can knock this out really quick. Like, it's not gonna be that hard. See how I jinxed myself? I'm struggling this evening. I am just really struggling. All this because I wanted one more sticker design. Because this evening would have been more dedicated to lettering otherwise. I feel like the cork is just comically large. Like, it's too big. Okay. You know what? We are starting over because I think I know what the issue is. Okay, let's go ahead and make a copy of this, bring it down, and then we're just going to go ahead and make this a little smaller. I think that's as close as we're going to get by eyeballing it. Okay. And then I have these kinds of bottles. Let me go get one. Yeah, the cork is a little bit smaller than the opening, at least for one of the ones I have, which... Water in here. And then I kind of want to do another ellipse, but we'll just go ahead and start merging the layers down. Not what I meant. Okay. Okay. See, because the thing is, it doesn't look like it's inside, but then that looks too flat. Like, this needs to round out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because this is too perfectly round and needs to... Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Okay. Okay, but then, okay. Put down the shape tools and we'll just... Okay. No more continuous lines. Okay, that's a better bottleneck. And now we brushed out the line tool because we need straight down from here. I just feel, okay. There's just something about the way that's shaped that throws me off. And they're not, okay. I'm gonna break glass this evening. Okay. Oh no, that looks even weirder. Okay, so one. Okay, I need to keep in mind the, okay, hold on. Okay. That's gonna be too large. Famous last words. I thought this was going to be fast and easy. I was so wrong. Okay. We're just gonna draw in each solid shape, then we'll go back and erase things as we go. Okay, that's looking a lot better, but less of a sharp edge on that. That's a bit too chubby. I just want it slighter wider than the... Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Well, we'll fix the lines up top in a minute. Okay. And we're just gonna go ahead and do a little cleaning with the line tool. Okay. This is what should have. And we are going to go ahead and... yeah, we'll do that first. I'm going to go ahead and merge down. And then I feel like this is too... we'll soften that up a bit. Wrong tool. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. If you're working in the right layer, then we'd be doing cleanup. Okay. This one... no, not quite. There we go. The funny thing is about the symmetry tool is that there are certain tools that don't get captured. One of them being the eraser. So if you erase on one side, it's not going to erase on the other side. That's one of the things I've learned the hard way. So you need to change the transparency. I don't know if I just want to do like a little sticker label or like just do something along the lines of this. Yeah, I think we'll do a sticker label, then that way you can see the clear liquid, so then that means I can trace this pretty freely. Okay. Oh, this would have been a cool shaker I can't speak. I cannot speak. I feel like I've been slurring my words all day. Okay. Now this is starting to be the sticker I thought was going to be easy. Okay. Okay, it's starting to get there. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. You don't need to crash out. We're good. We're good. Okay, so this one's going to be another sticker. I just want to do a quick... like this. Like, oh, too big. Or no, that's... Where's the center? Yeah, there. So this, we're just going to go ahead, draw down, and then okay. So that's going to be the rough shape for it. And so this is going to be too big. Okay. Come on. I think I'm just holding my... I think I have tension in my arm. I know it. Okay. Now for up here. I don't think it's gonna match all too much with the, yeah. From here. And then from here. Here. And then we'll just do a light little outline here. And just bring you down. And then just bring this here. And it shouldn't have done one line. Okay. All right, so that is our bottle. And what we're gonna do from here, we're just gonna make a copy of this, and we don't need the ruler anymore. Anything. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead and make 2 copies of this. One is, because I'm gonna do the serum in the front and then the antidote in the back. And then I will have this one also tilted a little bit. So almost like the antidote is hiding behind the serum. And we'll just go ahead and do this. And now we have 2 identical bottles. One is going to have the S, the other one's going to have the A. I'll worry about the lettering on this one in a little bit. I don't think I'm going to merge these. I do want to keep them separate. And then we'll do serum. Okay, I will color both bottles blue. Kind of debating how I'm going to do this. We'll do the liquid first. Do they have a description in Onyx Storm? The unnamed serum, also referred to as an elixir, is a substance that can cut off beverage, such as water, that can be dosed with the serum, leaving a pungent aftertaste that is earthy. I just want to know if there's like a specific color tied to it. Okay, so the serum is clear. No, the antidote is clear. What color is the serum? Okay, so I know the serum is a clear liquid, but what color is it? The serum. Professor Grader also gives writers cadet serum during the interrogation. Violet is the center of a serum and her squad. Okay, so I know for sure the antidote is clear. I just don't have a color for the serum. Thank you, Reddit. Okay, they have a different serum too. I don't know what. I was about to say, what if I make it yellow, but then it's just gonna look like pee? Because the first place where they use it is with the lemonade, and during the. Maybe if I just do like a white in a file does not feel right. I've read too many NSFW fix. I'll do like a blue color for the serum and then a white for the antidote. I think that's the path we're gonna. But then the bottle's gonna. Well, we'll just color things in. Everything is fine. I also forgot to draw something to designate the liquid. God, my brain is not here. Okay. Okay. Okay, better. I feel like I could have done this one better. We'll live. No, we will not live. because more liquid's going to be on that side. Mm. Mm. Okay. I feel like it should be more drastic, but it's not like they're tilted that much. Okay, we'll just work with what we got. What does a mixture of herbs look like? I feel like it would be green, no? Maybe not. I guess it would depend on the coloration of the. I'm seeing a lot of amber liquids. Because it's a collection of different herbs. To me, they're green, but at the end of the day, it would depend on the pigment of the plant you're using. We're doing green. They're like a light-ish green. I don't like doing the paint bucket because I always mess up the paint bucket. But what serum is the... Wait, hold on. Because if I can get it accurate to the book, I will, but I also wanted to get more done tonight. I really need to learn how to set realistic expectations. Like, that is the one thing I am terrible at. This signet. Okay. Yeah, I can't find the exact color for the signet blocking serum. Oh, great. Now I got a whole bunch of hair serum. That's great. Okay. Helps if I spell signet correctly. Okay, it is amber. The antidote is clear. Okay. Do not have time to... Not even liquid. Okay. Did I change page? Oh, I did. Okay. Okay, amber's not listed. Okay, I cannot find a description for what that... Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I have information on the antidote, but I don't see anything specific for the serum itself. Yeah, because there is the Leas serum, but I don't think that's the one. That one's used as in a different part of the book. Okay, we're gonna go with amber just because I don't know anymore, because I know it's the other potion that is... I know it's supposed to be the other serum that's amber, but I don't know. I just don't know. Because it doesn't mention a color, and I don't think you ever see the color of the serum itself. You only ever see the antidote. Or where is that one scene with Bodhi? I'm gonna have to clean up those lines a little bit later. And then for a clear liquid, we'll just go in with white. I probably didn't need 2 separate folders for that, but it's okay. Do like a little bit of an off-white, not pure white. Okay, that's a little too blue. It's gonna be a little off-white. Okay, yeah, that'll do. And then we'll do a darker blue for the bottle itself, Because the antidote is the only thing that they have a specific color for. The serum, they don't. Then we're gonna do like for the labels. Okay. Yeah, that's the perfect color for that. Okay. Okay, so we have, and then the corks, we're going to do a darker brown for those two. And because they're a good distance away from each other, we can just go ahead and double up on the layer. Maybe not that dark, a little bit more brown. There we go. The liquid, I think, is the only thing that's going to take me a hot minute to fully render out. Okay, for the bottles, I'm going to do... I don't know if I'm just gonna do the... I feel there's a part of me that feels like I should do a transparent layer with the liquid. Like an overlay would be a good idea. Let me just sample an overlay layer with the top here. It practically looks the same. Yeah, I don't think we'll do an overlay layer. I'm debating it. I'm genuinely debating it because I don't think it'll need it, to be quite honest. But you can, especially with the yellow. I think with this one, overlay on top of the clear liquid is not, you're not really going to notice it all too much because they're such, they're both shades of blue. I think you'll notice it more on the yellow, or the what's supposed to be amber. Let me just play around with it a little bit. Let me play around with it. Proceeds to completely avoid the liquid. Okay. All right. What does this layer look like with overlay? Yeah, you kind of see that thin film on top of the yellow, but it's not something that would be incredibly noticeable in my opinion, so I think I'm just going to stick with flats. Not going to overthink it too much. See, although the overlays will come in handy when it comes to adding... You know what? We'll do the overlays. We'll do the overlays because it is supposed to be glass on top of... The only thing that doesn't need the overlay are going to be the stickers. Which, in all things considered, I could have just done both bottles on the same layer, but I am where I am. Well, shading, it's going to make it easier because at least they won't overlap each other too much. And I think I'm gonna go over bedtime a little bit again today because I do want to make good progress on this. If I can get this fully rendered before I go to bed tonight, that'd be great. And Headache came by to say hi. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do first is focus on shading in the bottles before I shade in the liquids. So I think we can, I need to learn how to be realistic with myself, genuinely, like genuinely. Okay, so it's just, right now, it's just, I feel the pressure because I got a lot of stuff I need to get done, and it's just, I keep adding more to my plate, and it does not help me. And once again, we'll be doing gradients. And pretty much just the airbrush just to go ahead and get the filter. Do Gaussian blur. In this case, the Gaussian blur really is to just smudge it, blend it in as much as possible without making it muddy. Okay, and then a little darker with the line tool. You know, my life would have been easier if I just told myself, like, no, we don't have to make this one, but I really wanted to make it. Because right now, the main focus is getting the lettering in on pretty much all the stickers, which, to be fair, the only one that needs, like, really a lot of effort would be the We Do Not Eat Our Allies, because I wanted to round around her, so that requires a little bit more sophisticated lettering options that I can do from Affinity Photo. And then, okay, I see where I went wrong. It's requiring a little bit more sophisticated lettering tools from Affinity. And then for the others, it's not going to be as bad because I don't plan, like, Devi Ghost is the only other one that I can think of that may get involved, primarily because I'm going to do aggressive crossing out on the word unstable. Like, that's the only one that's really going to require a little bit more effort. With the void stairs back, I'm just probably going to use a regular font. And most of the others, when it comes to their lettering, like, they're pretty much done. Like the I Hate Sewing, that's already done. That's going to stay as it is. And then Andarna's is all of Andarna's stickers are almost done. They just, the void stairs back might need a little bit of a little more rework specifically on where the line art is concerned. Because that one, I'm going to set it on a dark background and then make her outline white. I still need to fix it. I am not going to get those sticker designs in until this weekend, aren't I? Oh boy, got a lot to get done. I wish I could draw faster. I wish I could dedicate more time to just drawing. I pray for the day I no longer have to show up for a 9 to 5. So I could just focus on drawing and comics. I really want to make comics. And Hellbound pretty much just took a backseat to everything that's been going on. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. There's also, like, I don't know, right now I'm just like, you know how when you have a lot of things to get done, so you're just rushing through everything because you just want to get everything out of the way, done, and get as much done as possible. So you're pretty much just trying to work as fast as possible. And it kind of goes back to like that triangle when you're dealing things with so okay, if you're familiar with the triangle, one corner has quality, the other one has speed, and then the other one quality, speed, and time. So, no, quality, speed, well, time, quality, time, and volume. So it's that entire thing. Like you can have two of the three, but you can never have all three. So let's say if you were prioritizing quantity and speed, then you're going to lose quality. If you want quality and speed, then you need to reduce the quantity. So on and so forth. And if you try aiming for all three, you're kind of just going to end up with crap. So that's kind of like where I am at right now. If for the quantity that I'm doing, if I still want them to come out like looking good, then I'm going to have to sacrifice time, or at least sacrifice speed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling a time crunch because I know I need to send these out, and the sooner I get them done, the better. But I also, again, the thing I really need to work on is setting realistic expectations for myself and remembering the fact that I am human. I do have other responsibilities, and I'm realizing like I'm reaching the point that I am like willfully neglecting my health. And I don't think there's anything that I'm going to do to actually fix that because I would much rather be doing this. Oh gosh. It's like literally like most things that require me to actually take a break and like that require me to stop and actually rest. Like I don't know. I've just reached that point. Like, if I'm not doing something, I just get very restless and very, like, I can't sit still. Like, no joke, I miss the days when I was still in high school and I could just binge watch an entire season of Bleach in one day. Like, I had the ability to sit still long enough to actually do it. But, like, even back then, I didn't have, like, I would still okay, back then I had a rocking chair. So I would just be rocking back and forth in that chair while I was watching, and that was enough. Like me and my little bottle of water watching Bleach for the entire day. Like that was literally it. And then like nowadays, like I can't even get through an entire episode of an anime without having like feeling the need to just move around or like do something else. The only times I'm able to actually like sit still long enough, like the only times I'm able to sit still long enough is when I'm around other people. And even when I was visiting my friend over the weekend, like they had squishies that like the entire time while I was watching, I was just like slapping those two again, like the two against each other. And because they stuck to each other and I just kept pulling them apart and then slapping them back together. So it's just like it kept my hands busy so that I could still sit still long enough. Like I just can't sit still anymore. Like and people think I'm joking when I say this, but literally, like legit, I'm reaching a point that I think like you literally need to tie me down to a chair just to get me to watch anything anymore. Like part of the reason I don't really watch as much anime as I used to is because I have a stronger preference for subs than I do for dubs. And so like I can't watch a sub while crocheting or while drawing. And most of the times, like even if I'm watching a dub, like I'm not even paying attention to what's going on screen. I'm just listening to what they're saying, and I actually do want to watch the animation itself. Even like even if and part of the reason like when I binge watch Koa, I'm not even paying attention to the screen. I'm just like listening to the commentators. And even then, like I'm not really paying full attention to what's going on screen. It's just yeah, like I don't know. I've reached a point that if I'm not doing something, I just get very restless. And sitting down to watch things does not count as doing something for me. Like it's I struggle with just sitting still. I just want to see what the overlay. Okay, no, that's not an overlay yet. Okay. It's not gonna be any of the lights. Screen? No, it's not screen. Multiply. It's not gonna be multiply, but multiply could. Yeah, it's gonna have to be overlay. Like you won't see it you won't see this as much specifically because it's yeah, you won't see this as much specifically because oh, how am I gonna do the highlights? Oh, I don't like the curve. Oh, okay. Yeah, but the overlay is gonna overlay where it matters. But yeah, and like I people think I'm joking when I say you're gonna have to literally tie me down to a chair just so I can sit down long enough to watch things. Like I genuinely do not think that is a joke. Like I say it jokingly, but I don't think that's a joke. Like literally, you will need to strap me down to a chair just to get me to watch anything. Like it's that bad. It's that bad. Like the only thing I'll watch are vlogs because at the end of the day with vlogs, like I don't think unless they're like specifically showing you something, like most of the time it's just talking, so it's easy listening. Oh, okay. There's so many hard edges. I think yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that. And I also promised a commission for a friend, so that one's also time sensitive. So the sooner I can get these stickers done, that'd be great. But I also the day I learn how to make realistic expectations and actually how to slow down, like that'd be great. But it's kind of difficult to find, like, I don't know, it just feels like one of those things that there's a difference between doing part-time art versus full-time art, where full-time art, like, yeah, you have like the business aspect of it, but then you have designated pockets of time to do the business stuff and then do the design work. Like, but when it's a part-time job, it just feels that much more daunting and difficult because majority of the day like you're not doing anything in regards to designing products or um like working or like I think the difficult part is making time for what it pretty much equates to like okay, I want to at least get something done today. It just doesn't look right. It just does not look right. I think like just part of the difficulty to it is that um a good majority of the day you're not doing anything at all related to art, design, or business or marketing. And the thing with being a small business owner, especially when you're like the only person working for it, and you don't really have the help of anyone else, really, because at the end of the day, the only person that I have helping me is during tax season, and that's my accountant. And that's about it. Outside of that, like I'm the person designing the products, I'm the person who has to take care of marketing, and I'm not in a position to pay other people to do it just yet. So it's like it kind of becomes very daunting and difficult trying to juggle all these different roles. And the thing about an art business, it's you're not just the artist, you're also the marketing team, you are the design team, you are the social media team. Um, like there's a bunch of other little things that you need to do. And it's one of those things that I know that, for example, stream announcements, I have the templates for them. I just haven't had time to make them. And on top of the fact that I'm the idiot who decided to, hey, let's do a vlog on top of that. So it's a bunch of small different things that just require your time and attention. And like it makes you realize how little time you actually have in a day. And like I said, it's ultimately the goal is going to be eventually just making this the full-time gig because there's a part of me that just for the sake of um stability, like I want to at least keep what I do like full time, eventually move the full time into a part time because there is a part of me that likes the illusion of financial stability. And the main way to feel financially stable is if you have a regular income. And primarily, my day job is exactly that. It is a stable form of income that even if the business isn't doing all too well, I still have a means to support myself. And that's also kind of like part of the difficulty of like trying to do a part-time business while also doing a full-time job. And add on top of that, like I literally have no one else to help me. Like it piles on. It's so like you don't realize, like it's one of those things that okay, the liquid is just gonna have to. I don't like the color of the bottles. I generally don't like the color of the bottles. I am going to have to restart this again. The other thing is too is just I put a lot of pressure on myself to begin with, and that never helps anything. And I think there's also the part of me that's just like there's a part of me that knows like okay, you're reaching your limit, you're obviously getting frustrated, it's better to take a step back and come back to it later. But there's also the other part that's pretty much saying is like no, this needs to get done. So it's a very intricate tightrope to work on, because it's one of those things that it's good to push yourself, but at the same time, if it's coming at like there's a reasonable balance between when you're stressing yourself out and it's actually productive versus you're just stressing yourself out and like you're literally doing more harm than good at some point. And yeah, there's like the rational part of me. It's like, no, 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 you need to take a step back, take a step back. And then there's the irrational side of me that's like, you're not doing enough. You haven't done enough yet. You need to keep going. It's a very tricky, in my opinion, it's a very tricky tightrope to walk on. And I still haven't really found that balance yet. So it kind of just makes things a little bit more difficult because, again, at the end of the day, you're just human. Like, I'm just human. And I have my limits. And not to mention, it's one of those things that I'm sorry, like these are kind of just turning into venting sessions, but it's like when you think about it, like part of the reason for the vlogs, part of the reason for the channel is to kind of like document that journey, and the journey isn't always going to be pretty. And that's the reality of it. The journey isn't always going to be pretty, but it's like for the things that you love, you're willing to like weather through those rougher times. And again, it's just like it's because I'm putting myself on these time crunches, and those time crunches are there for a reason. It's just it it's just difficult. It's difficult. Like the reality of the situation, if you plan to do a small business, specifically a small business that requires you to not only be the marketing team, the distributor, the social media manager, and the designer of everything that goes into it, like it will be challenging. And it's like I've also been seeing a lot of videos on my FYP of like very young teenagers who are running their own businesses. And it's like, my hat's off to you, because it's like, I will say the one benefit of being an adult is that I only have to worry about my job, and once I clock out, I'm done for the day. Like I'm no longer doing anything for my job. But if you're still a student running a small business, still going to school and juggling homework on top of that, it's just like more of like it makes me more impressed by kids who are actually doing the small business thing while also going to school, because it's like you realize all the responsibilities on top of that. Like that's not easy. Even more so if like you're college age and you're living alone or you're living with roommates. Like more power to you, and like hats off to you. I'm working on the wrong layer. I also should get a darker color. There we go. Yeah, the bottles are starting to look better now. But yeah, it's one of the ugly truths about trying to run a small business while also still trying to juggle a 9 to 5 is that setting time aside for everything is like it's going to require sacrifices. And a friend is inviting me to go to there's an anime convention. I can't even speak right anymore. Like there's an anime convention in Vegas. He's inviting me, and it's like there's a part of me that's just like I really want to go to conventions more, and I really want to go, but like that convention is also maybe like 2 weeks or the week before my market, and it's just like I would love to go, but at the same time it's like I really there's like so much stuff on my plate right now that it doesn't help. Like I want to cosplay, I want to do all these things, and uh, just if trying to survive capitalism didn't require me to keep the job that I have now, I would quit in a heartbeat. Like I low key kind of keep a copy of my resignation letter at my desk. But yeah, no, it gets very difficult. And I think the more difficult part is just like it makes going to work more harder. Like it makes going to work harder because, and I don't mean the small business work. I mean like the 9 to 5 work. Like it makes it harder to get up in the mornings and go to work because it's less like you're thinking like I could be working on art right now, but I need to wake up, show up to work, and take care of that first, and then come back home and yeah. But yeah, it's just it gets very difficult. Like you realize just how little time you have in the day and just how precious like every ounce of like every minute is. It's like, and I think I'm feeling it today too because the past couple of days I've been trying to make it a point that once I get home from work, I try and avoid laying down on my bed and just lazing there because like if I lay down, I'm not gonna want to get up. Even if like I still need to make dinner, like I won't want to move from bed. And like and there and if it weren't for the fact that I would need to call my parents, like there are days that I would just like I get home from work, I could be starving and like I just don't want to move and I will let myself starve just because I don't want to move. Like it gets tiring. I think the other thing I need to do too is just make the borders of this darker because that's gonna also be the hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think I'm just having one of my rougher days today. And like one of the things I've been doing is like as soon as I get home, I try like today, thankfully, I did finish filming the vlog or not filming the vlog. I did more editing for the vlog and all I need to do now is just review it and then render it. I also need to go back in because I know I have a couple of speed paints for this upcoming vlog that I was gonna squeeze in. And so I need to find those recordings, even though those aren't even part of the final, because I did do some speed paints for this week's vlog or next last week's vlog. I don't know what the timings are anymore. And I can feel the headache also wanting to make its comeback. They haven't been happening as frequently, to be completely honest. I think and not to mention the new glasses help a ton, especially when I'm driving in the dark. Because like I have an astigmatism, so the glares from the cars aren't as strong anymore. So thank God for that because like the couple of weeks before I got my glasses, I felt like I was driving anxious because the glare from the cars was just so bad. And it doesn't help that like how bright some of those LEDs are nowadays. It's just like who approved of it and can we get regulation on those lights sooner rather than later? Because like one of these days, somebody's gonna end up in an accident just because they can't see the road because of those stupid lights. It just makes me like I just remember driving to work one day and there was a truck behind me. And it's just like I couldn't see because I was being blinded. I'm just like I cannot tell if those are your LEDs or your high beams, but you are literally blinding me right now and I cannot see even though you're behind me. And then turns out I started driving and like I'm like struggling to see, and then all of a sudden I can see again. I'm just like, and there's no turnoffs. There were no turnoffs, so I knew it was the same truck behind me, and I'm just like, you, those were your high beams. Like I'm over here blind, and you're driving in your high beams for what? Yeah, I don't know. I just really like. I used to enjoy driving at night too. Like I don't mind. I enjoy driving at night, but with how bad some of those LED headlights are, it's just like I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. It's not literally like it's just I can't see. Like there's glares everywhere. I'm having difficulties just trying to find the road. It's like I don't know, it's more anxiety inducing now, and it's like how are those even safe for the road at this point? Yeah, can we just please get regulation on those headlights, because the fact that some like they're just blinding. Like they don't there is no need for them to be that bright. And yet they still keep pushing them out. Okay, I'm gonna need one more layer just to. And then there's also Niji Fest. Like I would love to go to Niji Fest. It sounds like so much fun. And Niji Fest would be one of the cons that I end up going to by myself, because it is an LGBT and it is an LGBT centered con, and I can't think of anyone to bring with me like that lives nearby who would go with me to an LGBT convention. The joys of living in a small town. I also want to scope out Niji Fest, because if I can apply for their like vendor hall for next year, I'll do it. We're reaching the fuck it we ball era. Okay. Yep, so much emphasis on the bottles, and you probably won't even really see it. Yeah, that's fine. Now for the liquid. The light squid. Okay. Oh, wrong, completely wrong layer. This is one I'll do a gradient for. Don't want it too dark. Then we'll do something a little lighter. And we'll do quick Gaussian blur just to make sure they're all blended in. They're all reasonably blended in. And then we'll go ahead and go a little darker from here. And we'll do the hard pen. Yeah, we probably won't do anything too fancy with this. We'll probably just follow a little bit of the shading from the bottle itself. So, yeah. I really just wish I could. I already took like an entire week off, and that was a good productive week. I should do that again soon. But yeah, like if when the day comes that I can just dedicate myself full time to drawing, improving my crafts, and just art in general, will be the day. Like that would be me living my dream. We're slowly working towards it still, but it's like one day I would really just love to just full time work on comics, work on art, pretty much just give a younger version of me like everything she could ever ask for. I feel like this, yeah, I thought that was too soft. Oh, this is a soft burn. Oopsies. Well, actually, that came out looking better than I thought it would, so. But yeah. If one day I can live my dream and just do art full time, go to conventions to sell art, go to conventions just to cosplay. Like, I don't know. I feel the most at home when I'm working on craft projects. So it's like that's where I feel like the most natural, the most calm. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's like it's one of those things that like I've thought about in the past, and if like you ever ask me like what will you do, like I've genuinely tried to picture a life where I don't draw or I don't do art, and it's so difficult for me to just even like imagine what that would be like, because genuinely like for me one of those things for me it's like one of those things like art literally saved my life. Like it gave me an outlet for a lot of emotions I didn't really know how to process all too well when I was in when I was younger. So it's just like it definitely helped curb a lot of habits I could have formed in the long run. And as depressing as it sounds, like I genuinely would rather not exist if I could not draw. Like I've actually thought of it like what would happen if tomorrow I wouldn't be able to draw. Like I don't think like I wouldn't have any reason to hang around here anymore. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna do a quick little. What is this? Ooh, yeah. It's like as cheesy as it sounds. It's like literally art is the only reason I can imagine for even wanting to hang out around this place anymore. No, we do not need a call. A mental health hotline and fine. Everything is fine. Not really quite on the bubbly side, but like, do I want to do overlay? So many overlays. Okay, I think I want something a little bit more bubbly. That's a little too choppy. So we'll just go with the effects. But yeah, it's like for me, genuinely, like it's so difficult to imagine a life without art being somewhere, like somehow involved. Like if I lost every ability to create art in my life, like what's the point? Like genuinely, what is the point? That surprisingly works well. Oh, what the soft? Not really. Got the light? Nah. I want to do like some sort of bubble. The soft circles are probably going to do it. But it's kind of harder to see up top. I think we'll just go with that pen tool. Where was I that I found that pen tool? Yeah, I think we're going to go with this. Just going to kind of like randomize it a little bit. And then we'll do an overlay. Doing all the overlays. This is going to turn into an interesting color because that saturates the color so much. So that's going to become a very interesting color. So the other thing I could do is just discard the overlay entirely. And then I'll make a version of that in a minute. But for now, let's just, because I can see the issue where things could go wrong with this once we have to move it into CMYK, because as cool as it looks like this, and the few touch-ups that I would like to do to that bottom because it's a little distracting like that, I don't think it's going to work when it comes to the CMYK conversions, because it's going to lose so much color. I almost feel like I feel like just leaving it like this would be enough. Like having that amber liquid, and then I'm gonna actually do it really quickly right now. Just quickly undo it if. Yeah, that's gonna look a lot better. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the overlay. Because yeah, because I can picture the number of ways that can go wrong once it goes over into the CMYK, because it's so bright and saturated that it's going to lose all of it when it converts to CMYK. I also didn't like that obviously blue overlay on top of the yellow. It kind of started looking a little bit muddy in the corner. So I rather just keep the bottle edges like this. So I'd rather just do that, genuinely. Did I remove the overlay completely? The ad is the only thing in there, so we'll just do that. Okay, and we'll do the same for this one because, ooh. Let me just remove the overlay really quickly, and we will just, yeah, because I can just imagine the number of ways that will go wrong when Because one of the things to remember, so part of the reason that printers will ask you to switch over to a CMYK color profile is because, and I talked about this in the blog a few times, especially with my ramblings of I need to get things to printers. Like that's all I've been talking about is just like I'm running out of time. 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 Like a broken record. But essentially, the main difference between RGB and CMYK is that when you draw digitally, you're working with an RGB color profile. And RGB is a spectrum of color that pretty much is light. So whenever you're working with colors that are pretty much based on light, is you'll get a much larger variety of color and colors that are a lot more vibrant than you can get with your usual so these are going to be colors that are a lot more radiant, a lot more vibrant, and you get a lot more color options this way. But the downside is when it comes to printing, because printing runs on CMYK, so it's supposed to be the difference between additive colors and subtractive. I want to say CMYK is additive versus, I always got them confused. And I remember there's an easy way to remember which one's which, but pretty much when you're dealing with CMYK, when you add more colors to get to black, when you add more colors to CMYK, you get white. Or no, sorry. When you add more colors to RGB, you get white. When you add more colors to CMYK, you get black. And black is the presence of colors, white is the absence of colors. If I'm remembering it correctly. But I'm gonna have to review this at a later date. But essentially, the main difference is because you're working with light versus inks. Inks don't really get to the same color spectrums as light does. So that's kind of like the fun thing about working with RGB is that you can create designs with far more vibrant colors. But if you go out to print those designs, it becomes more challenging because you're gonna start losing a lot of those vibrant colors. And yeah, it's just like it's one of the trade-offs to consider. And I know this is supposed to be a clear liquid and it's slowly turning just. But this is like the closest I can get to a clear liquid, to be completely honest. I wish I could just stay home and draw. Yeah, like I wish I could do more drawing like this, like because we are about to reach the 2 hour mark, and so far just rendering this has taken me 2 hours, but thankfully, so I will count it as a win tonight, because the only things left to really render are the corkscrews, color in the line art, and then add the S and A for Serum and Antidote respectively. So this, realistically speaking, is a sticker we can actually get done today. So I'm gonna push through until we get this done. Okay. That is doing good. And then we are gonna do, guess what? More overlays. Droplet. You're not really gonna see it because it's literally white on white. Well, I guess you could see it down here. Okay. And then for, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the color labels. Ah. I'm just thinking about Liza telling me that maybe instead of picking up another hobby, I should get sleep, which I know she's right, but that's unrealistic. I'm gonna stick to slowly killing myself through overworking myself. It could be worse. It could be drugs. I could be killing myself via drugs. I could. That was very much a possibility at some point in my life. I'm just gonna make these look a little bit more like burnt parchment. It could be worse. Genuinely, it could be worse. Where did the wind even come from? Like, legit, where did the wind come from? Okay. Yeah, the corkscrew and the tabs are just gonna be really easy. I'm willing to call this a win. Like, we got one sticker design done today, guys. And this stream went on for 2 hours, so longer than my usual, which reminds me I sometimes do not trust my phone. Yeah, today we kind of had a bit of a rough start, but I'm starting to feel better now that these two are starting to come together and they're starting to feel like, okay, yeah, it's not going to be that hard. I can do it. Which, again, famous last words, I need to stop doing this to myself, is pretty much all it boils down to, is I put myself in these situations. Which, again, it's one of those things, like, I make these sacrifices because I want to, and there's nowhere else. I can't picture myself anywhere else, honestly. And as much as sometimes, like, I go to my friends and say, like, why couldn't I just be born a potato that just binge watches Netflix all day? And then I always have that one friend, thankful for her, that reminds me, it's just like, yeah, but you wouldn't feel fulfilled in that type of life, would you? And I'm just like, nope, not at all. Not at all. Thanks for reminding me I can't be that. It's like, it's physically against everything that I am. Like, who am I if not picking up a new hobby every other day? Because I still want to do the book customization. And I can hear Eliza screaming at me to get sleep. And I can feel my eyes in pain. Remember, children, pace yourselves. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm a hot mess on a regular. Like, do not. Just take care of yourself, stay hydrated, actually get sleep. And I know it's like, it's one of those things, like, this happened over the weekend too. Like, I was just flat out exhausted Saturday evening. Ended up staying awake till like 3 a.m. scrolling through TikTok. The brain rot is real. Like, the brain rot is absolutely real. I did the shadows on those corks. Completely different. Also, is anyone familiar with like that one mashup song that's just like a bunch of random songs like shoved into one, along with like various sound effects? And people are just like, does this make you feel calm or does this stress you out? And for me, it's just like, this is the only way I'm getting work done. Like, I don't care how chaotic this mashup is because it's like literally Cotton Eye Joe playing to Around the World. And it's just like, you know what? Like, I'm actually like, this is actually helping me concentrate. And how much closer am I getting to like, how much closer am I to solidifying that ADHD diagnosis? And then, mm-hmm, okay, I think we're pretty much there. And now just to figure out text for the, I was about to say S&M. Oh, that was control. And I'm gonna do these black, or at least like an off black, like close to this brown. I love how the color picker keep like uses anything on the monitor. Oh my gosh, I had you selected. Oh wait, I have to press OK. Yeah, that works. Now I want it to be like, that might work. Definitely like one of the more decorative scripts. Nah, I like the other one before it. Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. And then we'll do an A. And we are gonna, oh no, we're gonna have to be careful if we do, no. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And pretty much all I did was just send the A back towards a, I feel like I need to make these a little darker. The A is gonna have to get a lot. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I needed to get darker. I think I'm gonna do the same with the S because I don't think I'm gonna do anything to these. Oh, for the love of God. Signs I should go to bed. Exhibit A. Oh, I'm so proud. We managed to get this done. Okay, so this is going to be another sticker design done for the books. This is one that is just going to need the file conversion. Tomorrow, I'm going to work on more lettering and hopefully get all the files set up as needed. And then this weekend, I'll probably work on the commission. That's the plan. Should text my friend and let him know. Oh, look at me making plans I shouldn't be making ahead of time. Again. Jesus Christ, why am I like this? Like, I'm literally the definition of I'll sleep when I'm dead. Okay, need G pen. It was like a Merino song, like that's been stuck in my head, but I don't know the lyrics right. Like the tune is just stuck. Oh, right. I didn't. What the? Yeah, that's the line art for you. Are you doing the thing? Yeah, you're doing the thing. I'm gonna do this line art. I put that below. Oh, for the love of. That's a sign that I should be going to bed, but I'm not. I feel like I should just join both layers together, like. Yeah, because I did already erase one, but I do want to keep the bottle just in case. Okay, we won't merge. As much as I want to, we won't merge. And in today's episode, clearly she needs sleep. Wait, then what are you? Oh, it's the bottle, not the liquid. How much do I want to say fuck it, we're joining them? No, I'm not that stupid yet. I'm not that stupid yet. I'm not that impulsively stupid yet. I will keep a copy of it. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna merge these two together just to make the line art a little easier. And then, did it do the thing? Oh gosh. I obviously do not know what layers I'm merging. Okay, we're good. Just to make merging a little bit easier, or coloring the line art a little bit easier. It just makes it easier. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup on the model, but I'll do cleanup tomorrow. That's fine. This is fine. You guys have actually hung around for like the full completion of an illustration. Given this was a relatively simple one. Some days, like literally, I just want to go work at a coffee shop instead. Just leave me with coffee. Ready, set, go. Yeah, Serum and Antidote done. Now they just need to get their color adjustments and then their cut line. So yeah, okay. So that's it. All right. So Serum and Antidote sticker design is complete. And thank you everyone for joining me this evening. A bit of a longer stream than usual. I'll get my shit together once we're through this market in May, so I'll probably slow down and actually recollect myself after that. So thank you everyone for joining, and I'll see you in the next stream. Have a good night. I have no